So I gathered a few lines from tales, from songs, and sayings that I wanted to comment on. So, you smell nice like a sausage. Well, that's a phrase taken from a tale for adults. It's a tale entitled Cheshire, and it's a phrase that somebody who married into my family, he loved repeating that, and when repeating that he would burst laughing, when in fact, the phrase alone probably is not that funny. I don't know what you think. For me it was never funny, and I think that when you say it once or twice, it's like, a new thing depending on the context when it was said, right? But, well, that man repeated it quite so often. He would stare at me when saying that, and he would be very happy. And, the reason why I think he was happy is because in my life there were a lot of references to be smelly, like being called smelly, or, running in a strip club with a stinky butt. And here's probably your question, how come? And my question, like, how come? Well, now I know the answer. The answer is covert hypnosis. That's how. Well, the other thing, is to go through life and sing the song, the very first few lines of the song, like, when you no longer fancy the words of mechanical toys, come to me barefooted and tell me shamelessly what you want. So that's a song from the Polish band, supposedly Polish, from the band called Perfect, and their song Lullaby for the Stranger. And yeah, I masturbated in my life, so I would say just pay attention to the songs you sing, because you can find some, or maybe even a lot of evidence that these words resonate with you even more than you could suspect. I have already elaborated a little bit about my family vocabulary. Like, my mother used a lot of shit in her expressions, and there was a lot of word whore that she used through her life. Well, so did my dad, but my mother especially. And even my drawing teacher would repeat, oh fuck, right? And it's like with this sentence, oh, I am so stupid. It's not directed at you, right? My friend who used to repeat for 3 years of high school, oh, I am so stupid, didn't tell me you are stupid. But for 3 years, I have been listening to that, and there was a moment in my life when actually I felt stupid and I started to think of myself that way. So, when I was exposed to the word oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, and probably I shouldn't say that it's only my drawing teacher, there are many more people who would say that, right? So, yeah, when thinking about sex, I would use the word fuck. And I think those words these people use work in us subliminally on our subconscious, and I would say, they do influence us, although most of us would say they do not affect us in any way unless we allow these words to affect us. Um, but I would say, we should pay attention to somebody else's intention behind those words, and if they really mean what they say, because the girl who used to repeat, oh, I'm so stupid, was actually pretty and actually smart. So there was no reason for her say those words. Right. I've grasped other things, other unusual phrases in songs, like, the Polish band Elektryczne Gitary, electrical guitars, in their song, and they would sing a worm in your hole as a docent behind the desk. Well, for me, that brings a really weird image of a worm. I mean, that phrase is disgusting. And in a primary school, I was told by my friends that when you want to wish somebody good luck, you actually tell them, break your legs. Well, we were young girls and I was learning what to say. But you know what? It felt very weird to wish somebody to break their legs, and I didn't, form this habit of giving such wish to anyone. And I think, words mean what they mean. When you wish somebody to break their legs, then you wish them exactly that. And when you wish them good luck, you wish them good luck. Let's do not twist it around and make it so fucking weird and complicated when it's not. It's crystal clear what both of these mean. Yeah, but that's what people say. Come on. And there was one more thing, we used to say. There was I don't know if it's a proverb or a saying that would go like this: grasp happiness for its tail and strangle it as a lemon. So, when we think about happiness and strangling, well, these are two different categories. Like, why would you strangle anything when you're happy? I don't know. And the thing that we naturally do with the lemon is squeezing it, I believe. So that phrase is a little bit tricky for me too. I mean, it's like weird behavior, like weird, desperate behavior of, grabbing something. Why would you strangle a happiness? There's no need. Just enjoy it, right? And then there's one yet category thing I wanted to tell you about. It's when authority in a given field tells you that this is how you say it. Like a native speaker of English tells you, when you ask them, how do you say open your books at the page? On the page? Both are possible. Well, later I learned that we say open your books to page. And then there was another native speaker who was supposedly my friend, and we argued about something that I was taught during lectures. And one moment in time I told him, okay, fine, so they taught me in a wrong way during the lectures. That's possible too. And what? And then seeing that, I just didn't take him seriously and I didn't care about what he said or believed in terms of, this grammar thing, he said, oh, I could be wrong. Sure thing. Well, what I wanted to say here, I don't remember exactly what was it about, but I remember he readjusted because I just was like, well, it's possible that you're wrong and you don't know something, and it's possible that my lecturer got a mistake. It's possible. I also made some mistakes when teaching. And then by one of the students, I was told the difference between the pronunciations of the words to Polish, like to polarize something, polarize, and then Polish, like Polish people. So when she talked about it to me, I got lost. I didn't know what was the difference between these two. And I think that was the moment when probably that was the starting point for me to have to be a little bit confused when it comes to pronunciation. You know, you go to the dictionary and this dictionary sounds differently to the other one, and yeah, really. And you start to feel confused. And the thing you loved about your voice and your speech was, you know, the accent. I loved my accent. I loved the fact that I could imitate accents. Probably not all the accents, but you know, if I could hear, for example, Ellie Goulding singing, then I could sing in a similar way to her. Um, so there was some potential to imitate voices. And then I would say that was a starting point for me to be a little bit confused. Right? Okay, and there was, you know, my kung fu teacher who would say, don't hump, like don't sit like that, right? So um, he would say it over and over, don't hump, and I always had an impression, oh my god, I'm humping, and I just keep my back straight. And I always had an impression that he would tell this to me, and he looked at me when saying that. And you know, to give you a comparison, when I used to go to yoga class, I was always told, as a group, we were always told, and I was told, keep your back straight. So here's George Lakoff with his work, who would elaborate on this very famous phrase, don't think about a pink elephant. And he says this works on our minds that way, that we immediately have this image of a pink elephant in our minds. Although the sentence goes, don't think about it. So whenever you say to somebody, well, don't lose your keys, don't forget to do your homework, don't, you actually suggest them that there is a possibility that they will do it. Maybe they even didn't think about that they could forget about doing their homework, and it comes from you. So I would say people who work with, you know, with energies, kung fu, martial arts, yoga, these are the people who actually have a little bit of higher awareness of the impact of their words. So yeah, I think he awareingly imposed the idea of, you know, having this back, this round back. Yeah. So that is it for today. Thanks for watching, and talk to you soon.